What's going on, everybody? Mark Sudduth, HurricaneTrack.com here. Look, I want to tell you in a very relaxed setting about how we do what we do. Without this turning into an hour-long documentary or something like that. We've already got that. Actually, I'll show you that in a minute. Lots of little episodes. Just a little bit about the history of Hurricane Track and our Patreon way to support it, what you get out of that, and how to utilize some of these tools, especially if you are new to what we are doing and just stuff like that. Almost like I've invited you in and sit you down with me and you ask me, well, what is this exactly that you do? What's this all about? Well, I've got some downtime as I wait for Hurricane Ian, and I figured I'd show you. So here it is. I'll pretty much stay up here the whole time, unlike when I do my video updates and I kind of disappear every once in a while to focus on the content. I'm going to talk to you, okay? So I've done this for about 30 years. I studied hurricanes and weather and climate in general in my geography program at UNC Wilmington, so I am a degreed earth scientist. I study hurricanes. That's what I do. I'm not a meteorologist. I do not have a degree in meteorology, so I don't have the math and I don't have the physics and the deep, like, thermodynamics and stuff like that, the calculus and the differential equations. I was more interested in the impacts. You understand? So that is my specialty, capturing the impacts using specialized equipment, telling stories about what happens, helping people to prepare, and just doing it in a way that is not sensational, not a bunch of yelling and screaming. Well, we did some back in 2004 during Charlie, but that was a different day, a different era. But seriously, it's very calm, very direct, very focused, and very purpose-oriented. That's the gist here. That's what I do. I'm based in Wilmington, North Carolina. That's where I went to college, again, UNC Wilmington. And like I said, I've done this for about 30 years or so. The website, HurricaneTrack.com, that's been around since 1999. I have done a lot of work with emergency management, with FEMA's Project Impact Program way back in the late 90s. I've worked with very big companies such as Lowe's and Sprint and Bank of America and the Weather Channel and CNN, and most recently now I'm working with Fox Weather, part of the Fox Corp, to help their fledgling Fox Weather sort of shine, especially in this new era of online. A lot of stuff is online now, and we'll be working with Fox Weather, maybe even getting to work with my good friend Jeff Flock, who is in some of my documentaries. I'll show you that in just a little bit as well. So that's a little bit of the history about me, at least, you know, for this purpose. Like I said, I want to keep this fairly short, but I want to show you, again, like you're sitting here with me, and we're just kind of going over everything kind of casually. All right, let me get rid of me just for a moment so I can move on over to here. So briefly, we started the Hurricane Landfall Project in 2004. My colleagues, Jesse Bass, John Van Pelt at the time, we were working to figure out a way to study hurricanes at landfall, and we were using vehicles to do it mainly. So we took an old Isuzu of ours and turned it into a remote weather station and left it out during Hurricane Ivan. It got destroyed, which was exactly what we wanted. We collected a lot of data and a lot of video from that. But since then, we've shrunk everything. And now, many, many years later, 18 years now, right? It's nice and small, these pieces of equipment that we have. I'll enlarge this for you. We have these little Pelican cases that we can set out. And these weather stations, these really nice state-of-the-art weather stations that we can put out there to collect wind data. That's what we use right there. That's an anemometer. We have these nice clamp systems that were donated to us through our crowdfunding program to collect data. We collect video data from these boxes here. Done this many, many, many times over the years. This is one of our supporters, Brent, setting up for Hurricane Delta as an example. So that's what the Hurricane Landfall Project is all about. Studying, observing, and just doing storytelling about hurricanes when they make landfall. But the build up to that, we have the YouTube channel, very active with that. That's grown substantially over the last few years, and we're active on Twitter, somewhat on Facebook. Facebook's been harder to grow, but that's fine. Really don't mess with Instagram or TikTok very much. It's hard enough keeping up with Twitter and YouTube and Facebook, so that's what we've dedicated most of our social media attention to. And so once we have a hurricane coming, like we've seen here with Ian lately, we get ready. We get our equipment ready. There's a team of volunteers that helps out, and different people come in to assist, and we drive to the area, we set up this equipment, and we let it capture what it captures. And over the years, it has been remarkable. So let me give you a couple of examples of what we have accomplished. Hurricane Michael, this is all on YouTube. I made it's kind of like a documentary. It's a nice long, it's 5 hours. It's the raw video from Hurricane Michael. And I'm just going to kind of forward through here. We wouldn't be able, let's mute it, sorry. We wouldn't be able to capture extraordinary scenes like these. I'm just going to move it forward a little bit. There's 10:30, 10:45. Michael was coming in. Look at this. This is Mexico Beach. This is part of this project. We had a GoPro cam, and a live cam. We're streaming exactly what you see here. The GoPro records, by the way. The live cam, it's a Nest cam, that streams. So we fast forward a little bit. Let's go over here. This is about 11:18 as the timestamp shows. Let's go a little bit further out into time. 11:30, still not too bad. And then finally, by about 11:55, the hurricane force winds are coming in. The eye wall of Michael is just about upon the area. And just a few minutes later, this is only 12 minutes later, look what happens. And then just jumping ahead a little bit more, it is full on, unsurvivable. Just, wow, that was unimaginable. It was a Category 5 hurricane, and we were able to capture that fury using remote technology from St. Marks, Florida, Cedar Key, all the way around to Indian Pass, East Point, Mexico Beach, and even all the way over to Panama City, where we were holed up in a hotel. And look what happened. Mexico Beach, a good deal of it, completely destroyed. Last year, during Ida, down in the Frenier landing area in Laplace, we put a camera system down at a restaurant. This is what it looked like. One of our supporters messaged me and said, hey, look, I've got somebody that I know that has this restaurant, and you're able to put a camera on there, go right ahead, and look what happens. Ida was coming in, it made landfall down near Grand Isle. It came in, crossed over to where Lake Pontchartrain was, or is, it's still there, and the surge was just unbelievable. You can see these transitions here as we're moving throughout the morning of August 29th of last year, 2021, just a remarkable use of this technology. This was live. This was live, and it was supported entirely through our crowdfunding project, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. This is the application of what we do. This is how we put the technology and our years of expertise to use. That is storm surge coming in from Lake Pontchartrain. It was violent, it was destructive, it was well predicted. It was predicted to be about 9 feet or so, and that's exactly how high it was. Again, this was live video, really, really remarkable to see there. And then we had other cameras in the area. The camera actually broke loose here, the one that was set up at the restaurant, and it floats around for several hours, by the way. That was really weird to see that. It's just floating around in that storm surge. It looked like something from the Blair Witch Project or something like that. And finally, into the night it goes. I mean, look, that is a great example of what could happen to you if you don't evacuate. And so this is a good teaching tool. This is data. This is data from video to educate, to show what happens in a very dangerous situation as Ida was last year. So these are just a couple of examples of what we do, the application of our project. All right, now how do we fund it? How in the world do we make this happen? Well, we do it through Patreon. In the old days, it was through support from sponsors like Lowe's and Sprint and Bank of America and other smaller sponsors over the years. And then in 2005, I'll tell you this story quickly, when I came up with the camera system idea in that historic season, we had a membership side of HurricaneTrack.com because I didn't know how much it was going to cost to do this. I had my Lowe's and my Sprint sponsorships, my partnerships, and those were big. I mean, I was doing okay. That was my living. And I didn't really look at the live camera stuff as a money-making venture. I just didn't know how much it would cost to even do. If I made it free, the bandwidth that I would have to pay could have been thousands of dollars, and I wouldn't be able to afford that. So we developed a website where people could sign up on an annual basis. It was like $25 a year just to pay for it. But it turned out that it was extremely popular, and we were the only people in the world doing it. Myself and Jesse and Mike Watkins, one of my colleagues, worked with a lot of people over the years to help make this happen. So fast forward all the way to about the last 5 years. The age of crowdfunding, Patreon, Kickstarter, GoFundMe, we know about these things. YouTube, with being able to support people through special membership areas. I mean, it's just part of gaming and part of people that do animation and podcasting and blogging and music and short films and whatever, art. And now the age of weather creators, that's really what we're doing here, is in that age of crowdfunding. And so we use Patreon, and it's a site that's set up to help creators like me to fund what they do on a monthly basis. And the way we use it is more like a community, that it's not just an app or a subscription that you buy and that's the end of it. And I'm going to come back to this in a minute, but I just want to show you, what do we do with it? Well, let me slide me over here. Through the HurricaneTrack.com site, you would log in over here with whatever your email address is with Patreon once you sign up. And then you go to the Hurricane Track Insider site, which is right here. I'll slide me back up there. And that is the inside, so to speak, of our project, where our community really comes together and we do what we do. And these different menu items up here, you can see there's our Discord. I'll get to that in a minute. It's awesome. And then we have our little dashboard here with our old C-Box, our chat box. That's been around since 2009, since our good friend Paul, an early supporter of our work, this gentleman Paul, who owned an internet company out in Nevada, told me about this. Anyway, that's our home page. I get nostalgic thinking about it. It's amazing. From the home page, we've got our awesome interactive tracking map. And, there's a lot of maps online, no doubt. But none of the maps online do this. They don't have our network of cameras. These are some that we have set up from members that are helping us out. This is one that was just recently added in Brandon, Florida, from a friend of one of our supporters. And there you go. This is looking out across a lake there. We can embed these right into the page. It's just amazing. And all of this from a very talented young man over in the UK named Will Woodgate. He coded all of this up in 2020 during the height of the pandemic. Everybody lost their jobs, and he didn't have much work to do. And he said, look, I've been supporting this. I'd love to code something for you. Give me something to do. Voila, my dream map has come to fruition. It is amazing. You can do different layers, change it to whatever theme suits you best. Physical relief maps. I'm a geographer. I love this kind of stuff. I really like the National Geographic base map myself. But you can zoom in and you can really get some detail here. And when we put our cameras out there, like for Ian, they're going to be all over the place and just be able to click on them. This is an example. This is down in Bradenton, and they just pop right up. Some of these are going to have weather data associated with them. It is really, really remarkable. So that's one of the tools, again, off the Hurricane Track Insider page. Then our cameras. People want to see the cameras. You can look at them on the map, but you can also check them out over on our dashboard. Look at all of these that are permanent. That again, these are supporters of ours or just good friends of ours that say, hey, look, you can use one of our cameras. This is out, just as an example, on the pier in Rodanthe, North Carolina. I know the owners out there, and they said, hey, look, if you want to put a camera out on the pier, go right ahead. This is looking south, roughly, and we actually saw SpaceX go by there a few days ago. So just a really neat system, and boy, once we get deployed and have all of this equipment out there, you can watch all of this live right on that dashboard And we have live weather data that goes live, and that's a very special page that is not ready right now because there's nothing out there. But when it's active, the weather data streams in real time, and you actually see the anemometer system. I'll show you. It looks like this right over here. We'll get rid of me again real quick. That PDF file I was showing you, you can actually see this. We put a camera on it, on that Jersey wall just a little bit farther down. We'll put another camera system that's clamped on there, and it looks back at the weather station. It was remarkable during Ida. We actually lost a couple of them because we didn't understand some of the physics on how these get clamped. We have since solved that problem, we do believe. I guess we're going to find out, right? But that's also available through the live weather data link here on the Insider page. Then, extra stuff. It's not just hurricanes. People come in, the hurricanes are the big draw, but we're trying to build this for the future. And to do so, I offer up more stuff. We do this podcast series exclusively for our supporters called Stories from the Hurricane Highway. Very detailed, long format, just talking and telling stories about the career that I've had, the people that I have met, the adventures and the misadventures along the way. That's all right here. And we're getting ready to start on season 4. Coming up on season 4, I'm very excited about that. And then, this is really my pride and joy, you know, in the end. I love the weather data. I love the live feeds. I love contributing back to the science. But I like making films, so to speak. You know, I probably should have been a filmmaker. If I could live to be 300 or 400 years old, I would be a doctor, probably, because I think that's fascinating. I'd have to get past the blood, though, right? And I would definitely be a film composer. My passion for music is very strong. I was actually in music school before I switched over to geography. And so I actually score the music for these documentaries. I do it myself on keyboards, synthesizers, and I actually write the music. Well, not like write it down, but I just play and compose using keyboards and different sounds and instrumentations, and I orchestrate it. And we put together these documentaries on the HurricaneTrack Originals page. These are all on YouTube, too. We make these publicly available. But this is a history of what we're doing. This is not on Netflix or Amazon. You know, it may not even be the right quality. That's fine. It's not $50,000 per episode. I mean, I'm sure some of their docs are way more than that. But you know what I mean? This is as good as I can do, but I'm proud of it. And we put the names of the people that support us at the $25 level and higher in the credits of these documentaries. I'll just show you real quick. This is Laura right here. This is just an example of the Laura documentary here. Just kind of scroll through a little bit.
At this point,
there's me and me again. Here we go. Some of the music. That's Brent's drone work. But this is what we do. We put it all together. We tell a story. This is after Laura, of course. And we make these documentaries. I'm still working on the season 2 covering 2020. It's getting there. It's a lot of work, as you can imagine, putting together basically a television show. But I really enjoy doing this because it brings it all home. And like I said, at the end of the day, we do interviews with different people. That's Rob Perillo. You might recognize him. And then we've got Dan Brown from the National Hurricane Center. And then at the end, like I said, I like to try to give credit to those who help make this possible. And so the end credits, here's the music that I put in there. And these are the people, the producers, the folks that help out. I'm going to go back just a little bit there just to show you. Put my money where my mouth is, so to speak. Those are the people that help to make this possible. And then we have others as well over the years that have supported this. And here it comes right here. There it is. Our crowdfunding supporters. This means so much to me to be able to point these people out and say, look, these are the folks that make all of this happen. And these documentaries, to me, like I said, kind of bring everything home and turn it into something that'll be on the internet, hopefully long after I'm gone. So that's it. That's a look, again, like you're just kind of sitting here with me as I tell you about the history of this, and really importantly, how you can be a part of it, because I know a lot of people out there are just like me. They have weather in their blood and in their DNA. It is all about, like, they live for it. And we don't just do the hurricane thing. We have winter storms that we cover. I've met all kinds of people in the Northeast, up in Cape Cod and in Boston. The severe weather on the Great Plains. We're doing more and more with that, putting the technology to use to show it in a different way. Just do things differently. And the Desert Southwest monsoon, I'm trying to think of what else, flood coverage, maybe eventually wildfires. And it's just really, sharing the passion that I have using social media and using Patreon and crowdfunding. And I forgot to show Discord. I almost screwed that up. And then we do this here on Discord as well. That's part of the Patreon. You sign up on Patreon, and Discord is a part of it. And you can see people talking about different things in the channels here. It took me a little while to get used to it myself, but it's pretty amazing. A lot of gamers know all about this. This is the Ian area. I mean, these are real people. These are the people that I'm telling you about. I'm not making this up. These are the real folks, and they would tell you, oh, I love this. And it's just become part of their daily routine to check in and see what we're talking about. We have winter storm topics, severe weather topics. Different people help to make the graphics. They put their talent to use, and it helps to do what we do here at HurricaneTrack. All right? So there's a look at it. If you are interested and are in the position to become part of it, I invite you to head over to Discord. I'm sorry, Discord. You can tell I'm tired. Hey, Discord's part of it, by the way. There it is right there. It starts at the $4 level. It's part of your membership. Once you sign up, you get Discord, you get an account set up there, and then in your membership area, you would just click Connect to Discord. But yeah, you go to Patreon and or get the Patreon app and search for HurricaneTrack. That's us right there. And you select whatever level is best for you. $10 level is the most popular by far. But the $25 level, you have the where we put your name in the credits for the Hurricane Highway, right? And you can even be a producer. We just try to do something back that says, look, you're part of something special. You have one spot remaining out of 10 there. That's very exclusive. There's only 10 of them. Maybe you'll be the one that gets that last one. All right? So that's it. That's a little bit of the history. That's what we do. And when I pitch the crowdfunding stuff, it's not about a money grab or trying to be rich or anything like that. I wish I could make everything free, but I can't. I've got to be able to support my family. I've got to pay for the bandwidth of all of these remote cams, the fuel, everything else, the equipment, and this is how we do it. And I'm very proud of it, okay? It's hard to sell yourself. That's very hard to do. But if I don't do it, nobody will know about it, and we can't do it. And in return, we can't help you with the information that we provide. And I think it does make a difference, and I appreciate everybody that has supported. All right? All right. That is it from me. I'm Mark Sutton of HurricaneTrack. I hope to see you on the HurricaneTrack Insider site, through our crowdfunding, through Patreon. Thanks for watching.